What's happening, YouTube, boxing world? I am your host, Nice. Welcome back to the Fight Room. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you do. For the latest boxing news, feedback, and entertainment. Now, just want to break down the post fight Tyson Fury Wilder. One of the greatest fights, maybe, in heavyweight history. One of the. Now we cannot exaggerate and say it was the greatest, but in this era, it's probably one of the best of all time, probably top five, because there was a lot of good heavyweight bouts, no doubt. You know, let me just say something. Bob Arum wanted to exaggerate. He said this was the greatest heavyweight fight I've seen in this era. Not true. One of the greatest, absolutely, but not true. So anyway, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, breakdown. Now, uh, Wilder did pretty well coming in, starting off excessively fast. Now, he tried to establish his jab early on in the first or two rounds or whatnot. Did quite well, but did he start too early? To me, he did. He wanted to, I guess, prove a point from the rip, and so he tried to do that. But to me, he should have just waited, confuse Fury, pretend he didn't know what to do, and then just start going in with the jabs and all that and whatnot. Now, the problem with Wilder in this fight, what happened was he tried to implement, the game plan that Malik Scott intended for him to take into the ring. And, he kind of fell short. Now, why is that? I'm going to say something. It's true to this saying, you can never teach an old dog new tricks, because eventually he'll go back to his old self. So in that case, that's what happened to Wilder. Now, Wilder went in there, and tried to implement the new regimen from Malik Scott, tried to pull away with it, and seemed like he went back to his trick after the third or fourth round. He couldn't implement the game fully. And, it is what it is. So if he would have implemented that game plan throughout, even the third or fourth round when he got dropped or whatnot. Now you can see when he got knocked out that he had his hand out like this. Instead of just trying to block, he wants to leave it out. That's a problem. That's his problem. He does that often, quite often. And I believe that Tyson Fury, saw that before and took the initiative and did what he had to do, conquered that, overcame him, and he's still champ. Now, what I was going to say is that, of course, Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight fighter in the world, without question. Footwork, skills, hand speed, jab. Now, the question has been answered. Ladies and gentlemen, does he have knockout power? He proved it. One hit. One hit. Hook. Got him out of there. So the question, ladies and gentlemen, has been answered. Tyson Fury does pack some type of power. Now, him being the winner and winning this matchup, now we all know that the Anthony Joshua bout doesn't look like it's inevitable anytime soon. Anthony Joshua wants to have the rematch with Usyk, and they're trying to pull off for the fast one. Now, I said it before, Anthony Joshua, pulled the fast one with Andy Ruiz in a quick rematch, and he overcame. Now, can he do the same thing with Usyk? I doubt it. Usyk, a much smarter fighter than Andy Ruiz, not taking it away from Ruiz, but, a highly regarded ring IQ, very smart fighter. We know he trains a lot with Loma and his father or whatnot, so the IQ is there. Now, with that being said, if Fury decides to fight Usyk, if that comes to happen, comes to fruition, which I think it would, anticipating, absolutely. Is it too early for Usyk? Probably so, but you cannot take that away because Usyk proved that he has the skills, tools, and regimen to become an elite fighter. And yes, he is an elite fighter already. Three heavyweight fights in, he becomes unified champion. So that speaks for itself, ladies and gentlemen. The guy is pretty good. Now, with that being said, Can he implement some type of skills, his skills and footwork against a Tyson Fury, a durable, smart, ring IQ fighter himself? Probably, probably not. If that fight does come to fruition, which it will in the future, I believe, if the Anthony Joshua and Usyk fight doesn't come to fruition, that should take place. But if it does take place, if the rematch does happen with Joshua and Usyk, I'm gonna be honest. I believe that Usyk is still going to overcome and going to beat Joshua. Joshua is good, but he doesn't know how to implement his skills to the fullest. Now, what do I mean by that? He knows how to box. He uses his jab or whatnot. He sets his angles and does what he does best for a little bit. But if Joshua could, execute his game plan, he would be top notch or whatnot. But it seems like he cannot execute his game plans with these elite heavyweights. Not taking none away from him. Hard puncher, proven puncher, absolutely. Joshua is one of the hardest punchers in the game as well. Not harder than Wilder, I believe not, but he does pack that power. Now let's just say if they do, let's say Anthony Joshua does fight Wilder. To be quite honest, I believe, that and it's gonna be shocking because back in the day, 2 or 3 years ago, I would say a different thing, which I'm gonna say now. I think Anthony Joshua would knock out Wilder. Just being honest. I tell you, just being honest. I mean, Wilder, he just took too much punishment in these two fights. Too much. I guess, a fighter doesn't, a fighter, is not the same after brutal knockouts. We've seen this with a lot of ex-fighters. Never the same. With that being said, Joshua got knocked out by Ruiz. Is he the same fighter? We don't know. As far as the chin test. So he's going to see if he seeks that rematch with Usyk. And I'm going to be honest, I think that Usyk is going to come back the victor once again and move forward. I think Anthony Joshua days are over. Ladies and gentlemen, he was a good fighter, whatnot. His good days are long gone, to be honest with you. There are new fighters coming up. Usyk is one of them. Tyson Fury, might have a bout or two, a few more, and then he's going to be out the door. So, with all that being said, Usyk should be the new heavyweight star rising, and he's going to be there for quite a while, I believe. Now, they got to, keep his career balanced. Don't rush anything, and see what happens. But besides the fact, Deontay Wilder says he's not going to retire. I don't think he should retire. He's a, good puncher. Malik Scott tried to implement some things with him, and he tried to exceed it in a little bit of the matchup, but didn't go full throttle with it. Like I said, can't teach an old dog new tricks. Maybe if he keeps going and, having sparring sessions a lot for rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds and implement that game plan, or just to use his jab stiffly instead of just having his hand out or whatnot and doing all this crazy stuff, it can be set in the mind, body, and whatnot, and become a memory to his arsenal. But let's see. Y'all already know I am your host, Nice. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, don't forget, share the fight room.